So if you own your own business in Canada and you have people working for you, helping you, maybe they're employees, and you're not really sure when they are officially employees, how do you determine that? Well, there is some criteria that you can look at, and I will leave a link in the video description below to the Government of Canada website that breaks that down. But it is important to understand if the people that are assisting you in your business are officially employees or if they're just independent subcontractors, because how you treat them and how you administer that relationship when it comes to financials and taxes and stuff like that will change significantly if they are officially employees compared to just being independent subcontractors. And you can't really just choose based on your preference. I mean, you can, but that's not how you're supposed to do it. And there can be penalties if you think they are independent contractors and you're treating them like independent contractors when in reality they meet the criteria to be employees. So how do you actually figure that out if they are employees or if they're just independent contractors? Well, again, I mentioned there is that criteria that you can review, and that link will be left in the video description below. But it would be things like the amount of control you have over that individual. Are you choosing their hours? Are you choosing where they're working? Are you choosing what, services or tasks they're providing or working on? How much control do you really have over them? That's one of the things to look at. Another thing to look at would be if you're providing equipment for them. If you're setting them up in a kind of a workspace and you're providing all the supplies and equipment that they need, that's an important thing to look at as well. Those two things are really important because if they have a lot of freedom over choosing their hours and how they do the work and what services they're providing, and they're bringing their own tools and equipment and supplies, then based on those two things alone, then chances are they're self-employed. Whereas if you are giving them a list of tasks and you're choosing their hours and where they're working and how they're working and providing equipment, then they're a lot more likely to be considered an official employee. Another thing to look at is financial risk. Are they taking any financial risk, or do they have the opportunity to profit? If they're just a regular kind of salaried employee, they're not really taking any risk and they can't really profit above their regular salary. Whereas if they are taking on some risk, there's no guarantee that they're going to get paid. Maybe they're fronting some money to pay for their own equipment or supplies, then chances are they are independent contractors if that's the kind of financial risk and benefit that's available to them. So it's important to look at this criteria and determine if this individual or individuals are employees or independent subcontractors, because if they're officially employees, you need to set them up on payroll. You need to collect and deduct income tax, federal, provincial, CPP, EI, things like that. Whereas if they are independent contractors and they actually meet that criteria, then you're not responsible for those things. Either way, you'll probably need workers' compensation depending on the nature of the work and the jurisdiction you're in, but that would be something to look into because many places require you to have workers' compensation even if you don't have payrolled employees. So I'm just going to give you a quick example here. Let's say that I have a client that would like a website built and they ask me to build it. And I say, yes, I'll build a website. But I actually hire someone else to do it. If I just hire someone and I say, hey, I want this website built, here's what my client is looking for, you can build it on kind of whatever platform you want, here's their budget, here's kind of the style they like, please build this website. In that case, it's probably an independent contractor. I'm not providing them with any equipment or any tools. Like they're just gonna be using their own computer. They can do that from home. They can choose their work hours. They're taking a bit of risk. I'm not giving them any steady work. It could just be a one-off type of thing. They're able to work with, other businesses, other individuals if they want. It's not exclusive to me. They're taking a little bit of financial risk. It's not just like a salary. Like they can choose their price ultimately. They can choose what services they're willing to include. Like, do they offer SEO optimization, or will they embed videos and create forms and stuff like that? It's up to them to choose. So in a case like that, it's more likely that they're just an independent subcontractor. Whereas on the other hand, let's say a lot of my clients are requesting that I build websites for them and I just don't have the capacity to do it. So I find someone who's really good at that and I say, hey, come to my office, come 4 days a week, 4 hours a day, and I'll just get you working on websites. Here's a desk and computer that you can work on, and we build those websites through WordPress or Wix or whatever, $40 per hour. And I need you to, communicate a little bit directly with clients, and you need to work these hours because I'm, in my office only Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 kind of thing, where I'm controlling their schedule. I'm, providing them with equipment. I'm, giving them kind of a safe salary, things like that. So with information and criteria like that, they're much more likely to be what's considered an employee, where I should have them set up on payroll. I should be deducting income tax, CPP, EI, things like that. So there can be gray areas. I would recommend checking out the link in the video description to the Government of Canada website. And if you're not sure, it's good to get a ruling. And it's something to be careful with, because if you do have what's considered an employee, but you're not treating them like one, there could be penalties for you not properly treating them like one, which, comes down to things like I said, withholding income tax from them, CPP, EI. So you might end up having to pay those things forward and have penalties on them. So it is important to know. Hopefully this video was useful. If so, please click like. And feel free to check out my YouTube channel here, where I currently have well over 200 videos that cover business management and business startup topics. And if you are in Canada wanting to start a business or improve a business, that's very much what I help with, business consulting and advising. Feel free to reach out. I do offer a free 1-hour initial consultation, which can be booked in the link below in the video description.